Good morning, everybody. Sorry we're a minute late. It's all my fault. I was having, I thought Joe was having audio issues, but it was actually my speakers that were having issues. So apologize for being a minute late. I hope you guys are all ready to learn, though. We are. I dropped the exercise files already in the chat. I'll go ahead and drop them again. But good morning, and Joe, sorry about that. I was driving you nuts there.
No worries. I was like, what's wrong with my microphone? I had like 5 mics out. I was like, nothing's working. That was great.
Totally my bad. Totally my bad. So again, sorry everyone. The 1 minute delay was my fault. But anyways, welcome to Excel Today, or it's our weekly show here on Learnit Training, where we're going to give you guys tips, tricks, and everything like that, and also give you updates on what's upcoming and everything like that. Just some quick updates, guys, just on the channel overall. We have Power Apps tomorrow. We're super excited about that because we've seen a lot of people been looking for Power Apps tutorials lately. So this one was done by Trish Connor Cato, and she really did a great job on this one. So I hope you guys are learn a lot from it, or looking forward to it, because it is something that we got a lot of requests for. So yeah, we're super jazzed about that one. Also, I have been interviewing people nonstop, everybody, to get new people and new topics and everything like that upcoming. Right now, we have a heavy focus on the Apple product line. So all you Apple users, we are going to be bringing out what is that, Office for Mac, and also we're going to be covering Keynote pages and numbers as well. So we getting all those in the works. I have a lot of great guys that are also doing the SQL Service reporting stuff. So we're going to get that class created as well. That's going to be about a 4 to 6 video series, just depending on what the content looks like. But I have some really strong instructors coming, you guys. And also, Joe, you just got a Mac from what I understand. And so I think we're going to have you do a few of those classes for us.
Oh yeah, the new Mac Pro. That's
nice.
All its glory.
So yeah, so you guys, that's what's going to be upcoming on the channel. And again, if you guys have anything you want to learn, please just drop it in the comments and the chat, wherever. I go through every single comment that comes through the channel, and I mark it all down on which ones are getting requests and everything like that, so that that we're delivering stuff that you guys want. So, just let us know and we will try to get it made. And then also, also, I'm hoping that another person who I interviewed for the G Suite stuff wants to do it. They seem incredible, so I'm hoping that we'll also have the full G Suite, and that means all, not just Docs, Pages, but all those other programs that Google has released lately. I know they have like G Code and all that, so we are looking at getting all videos made for that as well. So lots of updates and everything like that. We still have Office 2021 coming soon. All the videos for that are already done. They're in production right now, so that'll be coming soon as well. But yeah, lots of stuff to look forward to. We should be getting a new OneNote video very soon as well. So lots of updates, lots of things happening, and we're moving full force forward. I just want to say hello to Excel Learner, Jasmine, and Micah. Thanks for joining us. Looks like Excel Learners from Cambodia. Hello from Cambodia, and then Micah's from Kenya. So good morning, guys. Thank you for joining us today. Joe, what are we going to cover today? I almost forgot. I've been talking so long.
Today's going to be a lot of fun. So we're going to take some data, we're going to put it into Power BI. But what I want to show you is, Power BI sometimes is limited with designing it to look good. So I'm going to show you how we can create a design and then load it into Power BI so we can use it as our backgrounds. And also, I wanted to touch base on conditional formatting, right? Because not a lot of people know, within our visuals, we actually can use conditional formatting. Based off of a criteria or condition, the appearance will change of the different colors of the bars. And we'll set up that logic in time. So if you're following along with me, click on that file button, and then we'll kind of build this together. But before we get into that, of course, mugs. We have to take a look at those. I got a really cool one today. I was pretty excited about this one. It says, because I know it's probably backwards, it says, "I'm trying to be awesome today, but I'm exhausted from being so freaking awesome yesterday."
Nice. I like it. Well, you are awesome, Joe. I have this is my real life mug I used this morning. This is not just something I bought. Coming in hot. This is one of my favorite ones just because of the size. Hopefully you didn't see all the coffee stains on it, but yeah, I drink a lot of coffee, guys. So that's why I'm always amped up here. Just say hello to a few other people here. Rajesh, he has a question already. Eben, Lou, Nyman, J Star, Haptamu. Uh, Good morning from
Yeah.
the Bay Area. Maybe it's good evening, good afternoon. I know the time zones are all different, but I hope you guys are have had a great day or are going to have a great day. Yeah, you ready to jump into this, Joe? And again, the exercise files is in the chat. Let me drop it again for you guys, just so you can follow along. There you
It's
go.
gonna be fun. It'll be
Yeah.
fun. All right, I'm gonna share my screen, and let's start off with our sales report. So I'm just going to go into the sales report real quick. You don't have to open this up with me, but I just want to show you what we have here. And, I used my two favorite people at Learnit. So of course it's going to be a couple of sales reps like me, Liz, and then Ben. Now, what we have is some, simplistic data, nothing too crazy here. We have the date of the sale, who the sales rep was, and then if they actually sold or if they actually gained loss on the sell, right? Because sometimes that happens. You'll, maybe comp something out, or, maybe you'll overpromise on a package. It happens in sales. So sometimes we have to have that loss in there. And then, of course, the location that they were selling in. Now, what I want to do is I just want to create a nice little report for my higher up, my CEO, that will display our gain loss, right? We'll maybe display something like slicers so that we can change all the information, maybe a pie chart or a gauge chart that will show our overall sales. So that's what we're going to do today. Now, we do have to still load this into Power Query just to make sure that the data is good. So I'm just going to exit out of here and open up my Power BI. And then once we load it in, we'll transform it in Power Query. Of course, we always want to do that first. So at this point, I like to keep this screen on, by the way, everyone. You can turn this off right down here if you wanted to, so it doesn't pop up every time. But just keep in mind, this is where like all the new stuff will be shown. It'll tell you what's new today, what's been improving. Power BI really is updated like every month. There's always something new in there. I love it. It's just, they're really consistent with keeping this the most up to date. And then you can go into like different forums and stuff. So I do like this page popping up. I don't mind clicking the little X, but it's an option. So since this is an Excel file, I'm going to click import data from Excel. I'm going to choose my sales report wherever you saved it. Of course, you can look through your computer here, and I'll click open. And even though it's going to look pretty good, the data, I set this data up pretty nicely. Like our headers don't need to be pushed up. Our data looks good. You should always just scroll a little bit, look at your data, never just load it in. There's always going to be something, right? Unless you're like really a perfectionist. So if I'm looking through this data set, let's see, oof, there it is. We have a bunch of null values. So that can really mess up our visuals. That's why I always say double check. So I'm going to click on transform data to pull this into the Power Query, of course. Now I just want to show you this. This is just a tip. It's not really what I'm going over today, but you'll notice right up top here, you'll see these little lines. Some of it is green, some of it is like darker gray. Those are really important because it'll tell you a percentage of valid data inside of your columns. It'll also tell you a empty amount of data or if there's any errors in it. And not only that, but this little box will also give you a way to actually remove those empties. So if that's something that you're trying to do, just remove all the empties, you're more than welcome to quickly. So it's really just analyzing your data, giving you information about it, and also giving you a solution if it finds there's something wrong. So I would use that. And I just simply get that by hovering over that bar. If you ever see dark in the bar and it's not fully green, that's a problem. That means there's missing data, and that's never good for your visuals. So to fix this problem, all I'm going to do is simply go to remove rows, which can be found on the home tab here. And when you click on remove rows, you'll have an option that says remove blank rows. And that's the one I'm going to choose. There it is, remove blank rows. And look at that, we have green going fully across each of these. So now I know there's no missing data. If you want to just hover over again, it should say 100%. There we go. There's 99 valid data pieces in there, and there's 100% of it has valid data. Now that this is looking pretty great, I'm just going to close and apply this and bring it into, of course, my Power BI. It's going to load it in. I don't like how it's called sheet one. It really is based off of what you have in the original file. So if you name your tabs, which is a great idea in Excel, it'll save you a lot of time in the future. So we could fix this though. We could click the three dots right next to it, and we could just simply click on rename. And then I'm just going to name this like sales data or whatever. There we go. Just in case, and I'm doing this, by the way, just in case I need to pull in other pieces of data. And imagine if there were, like, I didn't name any of my tabs and there was like sheet one, sheet one, sheet one. That would be very confusing. So it's always important to name these. Now, if you click the little caret here, it will show you all your different fields. We have our date fields, right? Date hierarchy fields, which will show you year, quarter, month, day, which is really nice. And you have your gain loss, which is a numeric value, that little numeric value symbol. That's important. That shows you that in that column itself, they're numeric. And then location and sales rep. Now, I do want to make this look a little more pretty. And yeah, there are ways to do it. Like I could start to insert, different shapes and images, but it's really not as, I don't know, it's not as easy as you could do it in other applications. So I'm actually going to just minimize my Power BI for a second and go into PowerPoint. I know everything's about the power, right? Power Pivot, Power BI, PowerPoint, Power Query. So let's go to PowerPoint. And I'm going to open up a blank presentation. And then I'll just insert like a blank slide. I'm thinking, and I'll just delete that one. So with this blank slide, what I want to do here is start to design how I want the background to look on my dashboard. And you can do anything you want. I'm going to make it look really cool. So I'm going to insert maybe like a square up top or a rectangle. There we go. I might change the color a little bit. Maybe I want to do like yeah, that looks good. Same thing with the shape outline. And you can pick whatever colors you like for all of this stuff. I might do, yeah, this might look good. Ooh, I like it. I kind of like how it, boards out like that. Okay, so we have that. That looks good. I might want to change the color of the entire actual background here. So I'm just going to insert another rectangle going across the entire thing. Here we go. But don't worry, we're going to change this. We're going to move it to the back, right? So I'm going to just send it backwards. Or you can click send to the back to send it like all the way to the back. And I want you to think of that as like layering, like on a book, right? You're just taking this piece and just moving it to the back of the book. So I'll click back and you'll see now this comes back up top. And then I'll just shape fill it, and I'm going to use like a gray color. I might even put some gradient on there. Ooh, that's starting to look real nice. I like this one where it's like a little darker on the bottom and then it goes up. So I'm going to use that one. And by the way, you don't have to do exactly what I'm doing. I'm just creating these things just to look good. I may also want to maybe add some sort of like icon. So I'm going to insert an icon. And I'm going to think, I usually like something that, I don't know, maybe is relative to the data. Like I'm going to just do this because I'm shining the light on our gains or losses. So I'll do maybe a little light bulb here. And I'm going to change that to, yeah, there we go, the gray. And I think I'll just do one more thing over here. A couple of just little bubbles. Doesn't have to be crazy. I'm going to use Control V to duplicate those. Make it a little smaller here. Maybe duplicate that one again. Just make some bubbles. And I think that's going to look great. Maybe one more. We're becoming designers. That's what we're doing. We're designing this to look really cool. I'm going to make this one really small. There we go. Okay. And you can do this any way that you want to. You could build this up any way that you want. And I'm going to just change the colors on those. I'm going to make those a little different color. And let's do, oh, that looks great. Okay. And then maybe on the effect, I might do like a little soft. Yeah, the soft edges look great. Let's do that one. Okay. So just a couple of bubbles moving down. Kind of like where, who was that guy? Ross, right? Bob Ross. We're painting our own little world here. All right, so we have some of these bubbles looking good. And now what I want to do is I want to save this, and I want to save it to not a PowerPoint file, but actually I'm going to save it as an image, right? And you can do that. You can save your slides as images. So I'm going to add a couple more of these going down. And then I'm going to save this as an image. Okay. So to do this, you're going to go to File, Save As. I'm just going to save it on my desktop so it's easier for me to find it. But I'm not saving it as a PowerPoint presentation. I'm actually going to click on this, and I'm going to change it as a, you can use either one. I'm usually use JPEG, but you can use a PNG as well. But I'm going to do JPEG for today. Once you click on JPEG, click Save. It'll ask you, do you want all the slides? I mean, there's only one slide, so you could choose either or, but I'm just going to use the slide that I'm selected on. And there we go. Now I'm going to go back to Power BI here. And now that we don't have any visuals yet. So when you don't have any visuals and you click on the little formatting button here, you're actually going to get formatting for the entire dashboard, right? Like the page information, page size, page background. And that's the one that we really want, is the page background here. I'm going to click the little drop down. And instead of using any like just color, which you're more than welcome to, by the way, you could change like the whole color of it. But instead of doing that, I'm actually going to add an image. And I'm going to add my image that I just created. Now, nothing's there. You're probably wondering, Joe, what happened? Well, you have to change the transparency. Right now it's at 100%. Turn that all the way off. And there it is. So look how cool that looks, right? I'm going to do maybe a little lighter, or you could go darker, whatever you like. I like it like that. Okay, so now we have our background for our visualization. Once again, you can spend a lot more time on this. I know this was just a quick little design thing. I'd probably spend more time, and if it was for a real presentation, I probably wouldn't have bubbles. I would probably make it a lot more smoother on the design. But we're doing this for fun right now, so why not? So we have this now background. Looks great. I might want to add a text box, right? And in this text box, I'll probably put something like sales report 2022, something simple. I'm going to make that a little bigger. We'll do 40. I'm going to make it white. And I'm going to just go like this. Now, when you do this, you're going to notice when you click away from this thing, you're going to be like, Joe, I can't see my text. Yeah, that's because you have to go into the format text box right here that pops up and turn off the background. Right now, there's a white background. So when you turn that off, then you'll see now it's just transparent. And then you can just move this around right next to a little light bulb we did before. Awesome. All right. So we have our sales report 2020. Now we need to get to the visuals. So I'm going to build a couple of visuals here. I'll probably do, I don't know, I want to do the gauge. Like I said before, we'll do a gauge. And that will just be the total of our win-loss here, or gain-loss. I really don't like, first off, the 116K and the 231K. I rather see real numbers. And I really don't like how big of a gap it is. So I'm going to change this from a total of 231K, because it's doing an average, to 150K, so that this line is going a little further. And to do that, of course, you're going to go to the formatting in your visualization. Now I will go to the gauge axis here, and I'm going to put the maximum as, like I said, 150,000, just like that. So you see that gauge moves over, and it now says 150 here. Another thing I don't like is the data labels. I don't like the way it says auto. So I'm going to change that to none. And then I'm also going to just make sure that there's, no decimals. And I can make it a little bigger, that text too. I might go to like, 15 looks good. So now it's a little bigger there. Now I don't like how it's really not showing me the little thousands. So I'm going to want to fix that little comma there, and there's no comma there right now. So to do this, you usually go into the formatting up top, and you'll have once you're in there, you'll have an actual option to put the comma in there. So right now I don't have that. So that's okay. I mean, we'll wait on it, but you can do that. You can put the commas in if it really bugs you a lot with the data. And that's just really just setting up your data on the other end of things. What else do I want to change? I do want to change the call out value as well, this middle piece. So once again, I'm going to change that to a none. I'm going to make sure that, it's 0 decimal places, and that looks good. I'm happy with it. So, and you could change, the color as well. So you might want to change the gauge color. I want to do a lighter blue because the rest of the report is pretty light. I'll try to match it as nice as possible. Let's see. A little lighter. There we go. I think that's close enough. Don't mind me. I'm a perfectionist when it comes to this. Okay. So now I have my one table here. I might want to add some borders to this, so I'll turn on the border. And I might want to do rounded borders. Totally up to you. You can do a radius border. I typically like the look of the radius borders, but it's not for everyone. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create another report. For this one, I'll probably do, I don't know, maybe a map. And then we can take the location, put it into location, and we'll take the gain loss and put it into the size of our bullet points. Now, it might not look like much right now because it has United States right there, and we have our 3 spots. But trust me, when we start to filter for the locations, it will zoom into the map. Pretty cool. And once again, I'm probably going to change the border there, turn it on, and put the border on a radius. And there we go. Now, the last thing that I'm going to do is I want to create another chart right here, right? That's what I'm envisioning. One more chart here that shows me like a clustered column, and then I'll put in a couple of slicers over here. So for my clustered column, I'm going to use the stacked column chart. For my axes, I'm probably going to put in the date. And it's going to show you all the different dates here. You can just choose, I just want to see the months. I don't need the years. I don't need the quarters. I don't need the days, and just make it months. And then the values are going to be the gains, right? The gain loss. And there we go. We have our nice little chart here. Now, there are some losses here. There are some gains, and I can't really see that as well as I want to. So I do want to see these negative values because right now everything looks the same, even though those are below the 0. So this is where my conditional formatting is going to come into play. All right. I'm going to first off change the border again. I'll turn the border on. Give it a little radius. There we go. And for this one, I'm now going to base these colors, right? And I can do that off of formatting. I can base those colors, those data colors, off of what's known as FX, which will apply conditional formatting. So I'm going to click the little FX next to the data color. And it's going to say, well, Joe, what kind of formatting do you want? Do you want it to be like gradient? You can do that. You can set like minimum, maximum values. But I'm going to say I want to use logic. I want to actually use rules to define what I want these colors to be. So the first thing is anything that is less than 0, I need that to be a nice red. I'm going to make it really, really, yeah, just like that. Okay, so first off, all we're doing on this one is changing the color because everything's already set. So we've taken care of the less than 0 is going to be red. Now we have to add a new rule, and we have to say that anything that is greater than or equal to 0, make sure it's not a percent, but it's a number, right? Anything that is greater than or equal to 0, and you can't keep 0. You'll notice it's going to be grayed out. You have to put something here. Now I'm going to actually just backspace, and it defaults to max, which means that now you can actually use the conditional formatting. But something needs to be filled out on this one and this one. This one, it's okay just to fill out this part. Now I'm going to choose a great color for this would be green, right? Maybe a darker green there. And now I'm going to click OK. And let's see, is it going to work for us? Let's see. We might have did something on that one. Let's take a look at the rules. You know what? Let's do, since it's a negative value, let's do exactly that. I'm going to just do greater than 0, and we'll do the red color again. But when we add the new one, instead of doing greater than or equal to 0, let's just do greater than 0. Make sure it's a number. Make sure this is at max, and then let's do green. That should work pretty well. Okay, perfect. Click OK, and let's see if it's going to go through. And I don't know why it's not changing. Let's take a look. I'm going to just put in my sales reps, or let's do location for the slicer. Let's see what's going on. So that all looks great. Let's see if we're going to do, instead of just doing the date right now like that, I'm just going to put the dates in first. And let's take a look at it this way. And it might not have any negative values at this moment, but it should work pretty well for you. So if it's working for you in the comments, let me know. Mine's being a little weird, but it should be working nicely because it should have those negative values going through. So I'll try it one more time with my default. Once again, I'll use my rules, and let's see. We'll say less than 0 number. That looks great. And then we will do, it shouldn't matter, greater than or equal to. It has to be the number, 0. And that should be green. And then we have to have this as a max. That should work pretty well. I don't know why it's not going through. We have our logic set up perfectly. Perfect, perfect, perfect. There we go. Same thing as before. That was kind of weird on my end. My system was being a little wacky. But now you'll see it's working perfectly. Once again, if I deselect, it's showing you all the negative values. It's a lot more easy to visualize it now. So that's nice. And once again, watch, when you click on Dallas, this is the coolest part. When you click on Dallas, look, it zooms into the map. It changes our gauge. And then it also will show us anything that is less than. So I'll know right away, just by looking at this, I'll say, oh, okay, so we lost money in April in Dallas. If I go to New York, zooms into New York City. Okay, so in June and August, I lost money in New York. So it's really nice that conditional formatting does add a lot of value because then you can just quickly see, okay, February, June, we lost money in San Francisco. And then overall, all the months we lost money overall in all of our locations was February and June. So I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you got a lot out of that conditional formatting. Sorry it wasn't working there for a second. Systems can be buggy. Don't give up though. As you saw, I didn't give up. Just keep trying. Reset it up and see what's going on. And hopefully you really enjoyed this. I hope you got a lot out of it. Maybe make this a little better because I personally don't like the way it's looking. I'm just really bad. I'm gonna turn off the background and I'm gonna add a border. And there we go. That's it. We have an awesome little dashboard. So yeah, let me know in the chat box how is everyone feeling. I think that's our time right there. I think that was perfect amount of time. But I'll stop sharing.
Sure was.
Yeah, I'll stop sharing my screen now and
Yeah. Yeah. Just if you guys have any questions, I think we have like just a couple minutes for questions. I did see a couple. I think Rajesh, yours was more your first question, how to do database and macro in Excel. That's a pretty loaded question. So I don't know if we can actually answer that one with the time we have left. But
Yeah, there's many ways. I mean, yeah, there's a lot that
mhm.
goes around database and macros in Excel. You do have to turn on developer tab to access macros in Excel. So if you don't see them, make sure you have your developer tab on. And I would just start to do recordings of macros first, so you can learn the code.
Yeah,
Yeah,
our Excel expert videos cover macros, and also our Excel VBA training goes into macros as well. So those are two places to start. And then also our Access training, we have a lot of Access videos. You can use those as well to build out a proper database, as they say. Let's see. Emery did have a question real quick. Thanks for joining us as always, Emery. I think we may be able to get to this one. Let's assume
yeah.
that we have two or more sheets. Can we compare Power BI sheets with each other simultaneously?
Yeah, you're more than welcome to do that. You can add as many sheets as you want in a Power BI report. So, I would just say name the pages in those reports, though, just so you know which ones you're looking at, of course. But yeah, you can pull in as many data sets as you want, and then you can also create visuals on two different pages comparing. Yeah, nice little comparison. Great question.
And then Z wanted to know what our schedule is. Excel today is we try to do it every Thursday from 8 a.m. to 8:30. That's our time block. And then on Fridays we have our double event. It's our live offsite event. That is 8:30 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. And then immediately following that is our training premiere, which we have every Friday. That's our new videos, our new full training videos. Those are from 9:30 until the video is done. And these are all in Pacific Standard Times, just so you guys know, just because we're out here in the San Francisco Bay Area. So that is everything there. And then just wanted to say hello to Lou. Thanks for joining us again. I know you're one of our top fans there. I see you in our chats and also in our comments. So great having you back here. And also Emery, you've been on. I think you've been on quite a few shows now. So you're our star questioner. But oh, Blaze Katana, great to see you as well. You've been a regular as well. But anyways, you guys, if if you like what you're seeing and everything like that, please like, subscribe, share, comment. It really does help us tremendously, a lot. We've been having great years so far. 2021 was fantastic, and 2022 is off to a fantastic start. So thank you everyone for watching and all your support on this. And I think that's it because Joe, I know you have a class you have to go teach right now.
Yeah, so thanks everyone. I really appreciate it. And I'll see you all
Yeah.
soon.
All right. See you guys.